Has Tokyo built the world's best subway? Tokyo is by far the world's largest metropolis, dwarfing the others with a population of over 37 million people. If you didn't know, they have a mechanism that exists beneath the streets that defy convention. It is the world's busiest subway, carrying 3.9 billion passengers annually, roughly half of the world's population. However, everything is done in an understated and effective manner. Japan's capital has excelled in the art of mass transit, transporting more people in a smaller area with fewer routes, stops, and lines. It is, in our opinion, the best subway in the world. The first subway line in Tokyo was built in 1927. It has grown to 13 lines since then, divided between two integrated systems that operate as if they were one. There are 109 kilometers of track, 4 lines and 106 stops in the Toei subway system, which sees a total of 1.17 billion passengers per year. However, the core story of how this ultra-efficient public transportation system came to be essential dates back to the period following the end of World War II, which we will go into greater detail about later on in this video. Using its limited resources wisely and avoiding the type of urban expansion that was occurring elsewhere as a result of the rise in car ownership were two important goals for the city. When Tokyo was rebuilt as a city of cities, it was designed to have loosely dispersed self-sustaining centers throughout the metro area, which could be progressively linked together with an extensive railway network as the city grew. The town's second subway line has been under construction since 1951. There has rarely been a moment when the network has not undergone some type of enlargement or line extension, consistently increasing the capacity of the subway system and contributing to the highly dense cityscape that we see in Tokyo today. Tokyo has achieved extremely low car ownership rates for the industrialized world, just with 0.54 cars per household, compared to cities with network systems that mainly serve as transports among suburban areas and central business districts such as Chicago with 1.12 cars for each household and San Francisco with 1.10 cars for each household. Tokyo is among the few cities on the planet that functions solely based on railways within the subway system, which is a critical component of the city's success. Geographical commuter trains end at major interchanges such as Paddington or Waterloo, where passengers then transfer to the underground system, which is the model followed by most cities, including London. New lines in Tokyo were built to handle suburban commuter trains, letting them travel straight through the city center and eliminating its need for travelers to navigate congested interchanges during rush hour. This increases efficiency while also increasing the effective reach of the subway system without the need for extra track or even rolling stock. Through the use of track contracts with suburban rail companies, subway operators can generate a dependable stream of revenue. This enables them to build new lines throughout the city, even though the existing lines have not yet become more profitable as a result of the expansion. This too is distinctive when compared to the majority of other cities throughout the world, including New York. Also noteworthy is that it is an ingenious method of partially financing maintenance and expansion. As a result of implementing this model from the beginning, shortly after World War II, we now have an infrastructure system that is much more fluid and has far fewer large congested interchanges that we did previously. In the present day, 10 of Tokyo's 13 subway lines are served by trains, and the revenue generated by these lines enabled the construction of the remaining lines. However, it has now risen to the top of the list of reasons why the subway system is not unified. National and local governments are both unwilling to hand over their untruths to the other and risk losing the ongoing revenue that their respective systems generate as a result of the exchange. In Tokyo, the introduction of a standard ticketing system in 2000 made traveling throughout the city's mass transit system much more convenient, even though they are separate legal entities. After the introduction of the Pasmo Smart Ticketing process in 2007, which was made consistent with the JR's Yuka's East system, passengers only required a single car to travel throughout the entire Greater Tokyo area. It should go without saying that intelligent ticketing processes were nothing new in the industry. The oyster can be found in London, the octopus can be found in Hong Kong, and the Opal card can be found in Sydney. Nonetheless, in 2013, Tokyo took things to a whole new level by ensuring that 8 smarter card networks from across Japan were compatible with one another. Japan is widely considered to be one of the world's technological epicenters. The city's subway system far exceeds the expectation and is not any more or less reliant on technology than any other to maintain efficiency. Drivers typically spend their entire careers learning the intricacies of a single line and mastering the speed required to arrive at every station in under a minute's time frame. Maintenance is also necessary because track and tunnel infrastructure are investigated and repaired during the night to avoid the need for costly and time-consuming major repairs. Train carriages are completely dismantled, thoroughly inspected by hand, cleaned and reassembled approximately every 4 years to ensure that they operate as efficiently as possible. The subway system has installed good manners, displays on trains and in stations to educate passengers on how to improve the overall experience of their journey. Even though these rules are not strictly enforced, the vast majority of people follow them because they are in the best interest of the system as a whole. The majority of subways, in contrast to most public transportation systems, where we all know the rules but don't always follow them by simply speaking quietly, not eating on board, and refraining from blocking train doors, do not have this problem. In contrast to some subway systems, Tokyo's subway system manages to avoid the noisy, filthy, and unpleasant experience that some subway systems can provide. Because the city has built a system that is extensive, dependable, and easy to use, the system has gained such widespread acceptance among Tokyo's residents that passenger numbers have increased significantly from one year to the next, even though the city's population has been declining since 2019. Even though passenger numbers dropped significantly during the last year's pandemic, and although the system is not likely to transport any onlookers around the locations at the Tokyo Olympics, travelers are expected to be back when the scenario begins to improve. As a result of the post-pandemic, the cities are grappling with the task of relocating more people than they have ever done before. Tokyo's approach focuses on making public transportation channels something that individuals love to use rather than just tolerate, which results in people becoming caged and unable to keep our cities and economies running. So what do you think about Tokyo's overall progress on the subway lines? What do the subway lines look like in your country? Share your thoughts down in the comment section below. Thank you for watching, guys, and before you go, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Also, if you would like to see more videos like this one, don't hesitate to turn on your post notification to be the first one whenever we upload future videos. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.